What was like the switch or like the bottom in terms of alcohol that made you realize like that it's like time to, like take care of shit, like change your situation?
I was drinking just so much. I was drinking so much. I was drinking whatever it is that I could really get my hands on. My daughter was a year and a half. I hit a rock bottom one day that made me absolutely just open my eyes to just thinking differently. I remember waking up one morning or one afternoon after my daughter was taking a nap, and she was kind of waking me up out of my sleep and asking me like, "Hey, Daddy, wake up! Like, time to go play." She's 1.5, and my wife was gone, and my brother was at the house, and I'll never forget. It was just y'all know when you drink so damn much, you can't like move. Like, there's some point you drink so much, you just can't move. You can't do nothing. You just want to lay there. And at that moment right there, like I wasn't there for my daughter, and like I wasn't able to whatever, like something bad could have happened. I wouldn't have been able to make an adjustment and get my shit together.
That gets me emotional because of my kids. Like,
no, dude, and it fucked me up, dude. It fucked me up so bad. I called my brother. I was on the phone. I called my brother. I said, "Bro, like, you gotta come in here." He comes in from upstairs. I was like, "Can you hold Aaliyah for a little bit? Can you watch Aaliyah?" And like, I never wanted to feel like that shitty again.
Like that vulnerable?
I felt so shitty right there. I'm like, I'm asking my brother to, like, that's my child. Like, how am I can't even. So like after that moment, it was just like a wake-up call. Like I really, there's so many times where I'd drink and I'd be hungover, and I'd like, you'd sit there and you pray, "Oh God, I swear if you just let me stop being hungover this one time, I'll stop drinking." Like, nah, this time I was like, you know what, I gotta actually take action. So I went to AA. I went to AA for probably a month. And like the stories that I heard in AA, it was like, to me, part of me is like, I'm mad I even let my alcohol get to the point that it got to, because I go into these AA meetings and I see some of the stories of some of the real struggles that some of these people are going through. I'm like, Jay, like you low-key a bitch, bro. Like, you drinking for, like, you know what I'm saying? You drinking because you lost a game, or you drinking because you arguing with your wife, or you drinking because you just trying to run away from some bullshit-ass problems that like, these people out here, like, they ain't got no parents, they living on the streets. Like, you see some real shit. Y'all ever, like, I don't know if any of y'all ever been to AA, but like, that shit is fucking to the core. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, and if the rock bottom didn't give me the wake up call, like, AA, the first meeting I ever went to, like, this lady looked me dead in the eye, talking about how her dad was dying and how she needed to be at the hospital for her dad, but like, she hadn't missed an AA meeting in 6 years. And she's like, I was praying to God, do I stay here with my dad? Do I go to the AA meeting? She's like, I came to this AA meeting. She looking me dead in the eye. I'm like in the back corner. She's like in the front row, this, how everybody's sharing and shit. She looking me dead in the eye. I'm sitting back there. She's like, I didn't have to come to this meeting, but God told me to come to this meeting in hopes of seeing somebody new in here trying to get help. And she's like pointing at me. She's like, son, she's like, I just thank you so much for coming in here. I must have been like like everybody, I go in there, everybody's like shaking hands. Hey, Betsy, hey, Tom, how you doing? Doing well. I'm in there like the lone, especially, I'm light-skinned, black, whatever you want to call it, bro. I'm the only one in there like looking just off. And so she's looking at me like, hey, like, I'm so she thanks me for coming in there. Like thank you for coming in here trying to get help and saving your life.
You motivated her.
And she motivated me.
That's
like,
so cool.
I'm like, what this lady don't even know me from nothing, like from nothing to nothing, you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. And like afterwards, she like got up and like and left, like, and that was really the last time I ever saw her. Cause I would go to those AA meetings, but like, they'd be different times, whatever, and I would never, but like in that moment right there, it was like, what the fuck? Like, so I was like, you gotta use the signals that the world's giving you, man. Like, you gotta take those. And so like, I kept going to AA meetings, and then, after I started to feel a little bit more comfortable, I was able to start going out and being around people with alcohol and kind of like staying away from it. Plus, like, after a year, dude, I'm like, my body had felt so much better. Like, my brain felt, what I mean? Like, I was able to think like just more clear. And, now, like I said, in 2 days, I'll be three years alcohol free, so cool. Bro. Congrats, it's been a crazy journey, but I mean, that's the story of how I came out of that shit, man. It was crazy. I was drinking bad, dude. Like, I was kind of sheltered in high school. So once I got to college, I was like,
At
what
what
the
point
fuck?
in your NFL career was like the drinking, like you were just like, I cannot play at the level I need to play at if I go down this road?
I remember we were going to Indianapolis my third year in Buffalo, so that had to be 2017, 18, 19. It'd be 2019. We were going to Indy, and I had told myself plenty of times before that, like, dude, you got an alcohol problem. Like, something's wrong with you. And like, this is gonna sound crazy. Like, I'd go to practice. It'd be like a Wednesday. I'd go to practice. There was a little grocery store by my house. I'd go to the grocery store right after practice. Like, we get done at like 5:30. You know, my wife and daughter would be at the house, and I'd just go get a 6-pack of IPA, bro, and just chug all 6 of them before I got to the house, and just be buzzing the rest, bro. Like, it was bad. So like the Saturday before we went to Indy, we had done our walkthrough, and I get back to the house, and we didn't play until like the next night. So like, I get back to the house at like 12:30. Our flight didn't leave until like probably 4. I see this Ciroc bottle about half full, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I just chugged this Ciroc bottle. Then nobody's at the house. I think my fam like went to the game, so they had already left. So I'm just at the house waiting for the bus, or waiting for the plane to leave. I chugged this Ciroc, so I'm like low-key tipsy, like on this plane ride to Indianapolis, like getting ready to play this game.
That day you were playing?
Huh? No, it was we played the next game. It was the worst game I ever played.
Holy fuck.
The worst game I ever played. And like, I had tried, like, at that moment I had tried to become sober. I was like, okay, Jay, like,
Has there ever been a day of, like, you were like drunk playing? Or like,
nah, I ain't never been drunk playing. Like, I would be drunk right after the game playing, like, have my Ciroc in the
Locker room, ready to rock.
Win, lose, or draw. I didn't give a fuck. If we lost, I'm drinking away the sorrows. If we won, I'm celebrating the win.
Was it more like an eternal thing, or like a product of environment? Like, was anybody else around you in that time, or was it just
Nah, dude, it was just me and not being able to control.
It was a solo party. Just,
Nah, like I'd be like, other boys would be drinking whatever, but like when I was drinking, like, I don't want to just drink one drink. What's the point of just drinking one? Like, why am I just gonna drink 2? Like 2, I'm already kind of getting lit. Like, I might as well get
selfish.
lit.
Why not
Shit, not like
5 or 6?
Fuck.
That
pour
same,
up,
like,
pour up
extreme,
another one.
Yeah, the same extreme personality is what also makes you great, though, in your work and being dedicated.
That, yeah.
Like, there's no, it's just on or off for you in like both ways.
I can. Yeah, I never even. That's the first time I ever thought of it. Like,
yeah, because that's how I am. It's like, if I'm getting drunk, I'm going till I'm getting blacked out.
Right.
If I'm working out, I'm going until I can't fucking walk.
Well, it's a testament to who you are, Jake, because everything you've ever done, you dive fully into.
Well, like, I'm addicted to work, right? And people in society praise that. You're like congratulated for that addiction, but it stems into other things. Like, addictions are like across a spectrum. So if you're addicted to like working, most likely you're gonna be addicted to something else. But you're praised for your work addiction, but everything else pretty much. But it's also not good, by the way. Like, it drives you insane, no different than any other drug. It's still like filling that same void.
That's why you like staying up late,
Yeah.
right? You think about a lot of shit at night.
Yeah, I can't go to sleep.
My problem.
And then I just want to wake up and like keep doing something. Because if you're doing something, you're not feeling something.
That's true.
Because your mind's busy.
If I don't have to feel like whatever these things are that are inside of me, I'm just gonna do something because I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel anxious. I don't want to be overthinking shit.
This was your first time being sober after a fight, no?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Coming into your like 3rd year being sober, is there like an alternative celebration now, like after a win or like after like a big day? Like,
I play a lot of video games, bro.
After your first game of being like sober, like was it like fucked up in your mind? Like, what was that?
So I mean, I really had the whole off season to get sober, and so I got sober in March, and that season, it was one of my best seasons that I had. I had a really good season. Should have made All Pro that year, but I made All Pro the year after that. And then, like I said, it was just like, it just kind of opened up my world to a totally different world, and I'm able to kind of use it and using the platform that I have to kind of speak on it and normalize people coming out and saying that it is okay to really admit that you have a problem. I think that was the biggest issue for me, was it took me so long to, one, admit that I had a fucking problem and really look myself in the mirror and say, dude, like, you got a fucking problem, and 2, like, take action to the problem.
It's fucked up when you're such like a high performing athlete, though. I bet there's like you feel entitled to a celebration, like after performing so well, like after your fights, you would fucking win.
Go crazy.
like in the most proper way ever.
That's
It's
the
like,
problem though, is you're trying to maintain a high.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not, and it's not realistic.
It's not.
I've
it's
been doing
not.
shows sober, and like the high after just feels so fucking good.